you're doing the work, you're doing the right things, and you definitely give a good impression, So that's very, very important, because I'm going to personally say my opinion is, bringing youth to the table is a fantastic thing. You get, and this is me promoting you, but this is true, of course. And but no, youth. You bring the energy. You bring new, fresh ideas. The people in town, they've been here forever, and it's like it gets stale. Yeah. So by you being a candidate, the energy and the newness, it's definitely a positive to the town, no matter what. So I think that you're right. You get the more people who meet you, the more people that you're going to win over. Yeah. No question, no question. That thing it works. Where am I going? Oh, we kind of touched on a lot of different things, but your life experiences. We've already kind of brushed over this, but maybe you want to expand on that. Your life experience. What do you bring to the table?
Well, I think
we already touched on a lot of it.
Touched on a lot of that energy, enthusiasm. I think active management of government is important, because if you look at the position of first selectman, there's been a lot of concern about how our government is situated, and there's been some calls for a town manager, for instance. But what I've seen.
Do you want to talk about that, or is that like too?
Right now, I don't have any vision for making any changes. It's something I want to go in there, form my own opinion. As someone as an insider, to really see how the system works, see if it's broken the way it is, or if it's something that can be fixed. Before we make drastic changes. What concerns me is accountability, which is something that we're lacking, and I'd like to see more accountability, not less. So. I'm going to go in there with active management government, manage it as if I were the town manager, and bring that level of energy and vision to the position of first selectman. Because in the past, I think it's largely been a retirement job. They've gone in there, and it's been a ceremonial position. You maintain the status quo. At the end of 2 years, you really don't have much to show for it. And I want to change that, but try to work within the structure as it currently is.
Sure. Why are you a Democrat?
That's a interesting question. A lot of people these days are unaffiliated voters.
There's a lot.
And there's almost as many now that are unaffiliated, that are Republican and Democrat combined. So a lot of people aren't sure where to land. And initially that's what I was. Right out of high school, I didn't know what party. I didn't really want to align myself with a party. But the more I became active, especially when I went to school and became much more active in politics, I realized there's only one party that I think that really cares about the people, cares about the general welfare of the nation. Isn't just interested in protecting the top 2%, but looks at the bottom 2% to make sure you have a minimum standard for all Americans. To make sure you welcome new people and new ideas, and without these rigid reactions. Not dealing with absolutes, but openness, and caring about important issues like health, housing, schools, jobs, and basic rights as Americans, and doing what you can to protect the middle class, which I think is what makes America so great. That ability to rise up through the ranks, not based upon birth, but based upon what you do with your life. And so protecting that middle class, I think, is critical. And what I see with the Republicans is that they've deteriorated that middle class, and that you've created this caste system where you have working poor, people who could barely make their mortgage payments, people who are burdened by taxes, which is another thing that's interesting, that the Republican Party hasn't been fiscally conservative. They've been socially conservative, but they've given us our greatest debt ever. We turned a record budget surplus into a record budget deficit. And so they don't have the foresight too. I like that Democrats care about future generations and not just themselves, that they're looking out for their children and their grandchildren, and making sure that each generation does better than the one before it. And so that's I think what appeals to me, just that concern for the greater good and for the long-term prosperity of our nation.
That's fantastic. That's a very good answer. That's like better than I could have done. I'm on planning and zoning in Cromwell, and I was part of the plan of conservation development, and so that's a big chunk of what happens, what's important to people in Cromwell. There were 3 pieces that came out of it: the riverfront downtown Cromwell, and the border, there's the open area.
By the transfer station?
That
Behind
part
the
of it,
transfer station?
yeah, that and also along whatever road that is, Field Road or whatever it is. I didn't ask you this question earlier because I thought we were going to have enough time, but the downtown, have you thought about a lot of people want that to be a real downtown. Right now it's a quiet little village. It's not, I don't believe it's necessarily feels like the center of Cromwell, but a lot of people want it to be that. Any thoughts on that?
How much time do we have, by the way?
We still have 5 more minutes.
Okay,
So
yeah, that's a big issue.
yeah, I know it's a big one, and I didn't want to cold question this, but we have time.
Okay, yeah, let me try to go through that in maybe a couple of minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I'll start probably with some of the commercial development that the plan identifies. I think that's what we're lacking. Creating real jobs, not retail jobs, but professional, skilled jobs that pay a livable wage, so people can live and work within the safe community. Cuts down on energy costs, and it really creates what I feel should be an all-inclusive community. Whereas right now it's really just a bedroom community. People sleep there. They go out to Middletown's downtown area. They might go to the mall in West Hartford. They might go to Hartford for their cultural element. They're going to work in Hartford or New Haven, possibly Middletown, New Britain, and they're just going to come home at night to Cromwell. So there's not a lot you look at the local economy, I don't think it's realizing its full potential, and that's what's creating this tax burden on us, because we don't have the commercial base to supplement it. And you look at what Rocky Hill's done with their corporate ridge area, they've been able to attract large businesses, bring real jobs to the area, and create this what I think is sizable commercial tax base, which helps fuel investment in the communities. And that's why they have the amenities that they have, the state of their infrastructure that it is, without the tax burden that we have here in Cromwell. They're doing more for less because of that. So that's something I want to address. In order to do that, you have to give people a reason to come here, and that's where the Main Street area comes into play. You look at Middletown, West Hartford Center, Glastonbury Center, even Manchester, and what they've been able to do with their downtown area. And they've really been able to make it the cultural center of Connecticut, a place for fine dining, for performing arts, really make it a place to be, bookstores, small boutique shops, interesting small-owned businesses. It brings that cultural element. We already have the big retail area with 372. We need to bring that cultural element to really truly make it an all-inclusive community. And I think the riverfront is a big way to attract people to that.
That is a diamond in the rough. It's like, I'm not going to. It's not about me, but that could be you see other riverfronts all over, go up the river, and it's like Essex is a good example.
Yes,
if we made that should look like Essex.
Mm-hmm.
It's so potential is huge.
Potential's here. We hear a lot of excuses, though, and that's been the theme I think over the past 8 years. Is that it's not what can we do, but let's not do that. Let's not do anything to change things. Let's not strive to be better. Let's just maintain the status quo. And I say, why not? And they say, oh no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
There's a million things you could do, from passive recreation to making it like in Essex. But I think we have to do something. We owe that to the community.
Yeah, you're right. Well, pretty much wrapping up here, buddy. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for hosting.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
Hope everybody watches. I hope they watch it. We have to get people to watch this, because your answers were fantastic.
Thank you.
Your in depth, vision, passion, youth. It's all good. You're a very good candidate. All right. So this was Jeremy Shingleton. I'm Tom Madden. I want to remind you, November 6th is the election day. Tuesday, November 6th, at the Cromwell Middle School, from 6 in the morning till 8 at night, of course. And do you want to give your phone number out there?
Oh, how about my website? There's all the information. It has some contact information there as well.
We don't have it on the script.
Go ahead. www.thecaseforchange.com.
Right. Very good. You did great. Of course, I'm voting for you.
Oh, thanks.
All the Democrats should vote for you too.